Welcome to the Karoo here in South Africa. We are doing a road again today. This video will be about roads for thriving and surviving, so we can also sort out and get out of the way of fauna and flora, get the wildlife and everything a break down there, and ensure access for us to get in and out, and to make sure that we can get deliveries and visitors and get animals out, animals in, products in and out, so we can survive. This place is our livelihood. That's why we're trying to do this right, and that's why this is an anxious project again, settling up the new farm on that side, doing the access that we're doing now. It is stressful because it has to be done right, but so far so good. There's only a bit of time left with the TLB being here, and there's a few constraints with the road. As you know from the old videos, the road the way it is now was kind of just put in place just to get the drilling truck to get to where we wanted to drill the well, which was over a year ago already. And there's a few sections on this road that is definitely going to flood, and there's a few sections that are definitely too steep for non-four-wheel drive vehicles to enter and exit. And we don't really have a problem with that because we have the right vehicles for it, and we have the patience to get home and out. There's quite a lot of water coming down here on the heavy rains, and it's going to cause delays with entering and accessing this part of the property where we need to get to. And if I just stop over here, you can probably see the depth of the road up ahead. So this dip, we need to get around it, and we've had some ideas with the TLB operator and the guy helping out here is to detour from the road and follow the contour of the hill as flat as possible, because the further away from the hill you are, the more water harvesting there is, the more flood prone the area gets, and the closer that you go to the hill, obviously the less water you have, other than the water that's directly falling on the rocks. So we're going to try to see if we can do a detour on this section and take the road around the back, and then repair the old road by kind of tilling this over and restoring it. I'm going to try to sum this up quickly, see if I can do this in a minute. The vehicle is up there, it's the highest we've been with the vehicle so far. We're cutting out a new road here that aims to replace and improve on the old one that you see there, because we've got that heavy steep down section there. The aim of this road is to come through here, follow contour as much as possible, and then go close to the hill on this side before you get all the drainages from these hills. So as little as possible water, so it's not really a stream, but we want to go over it on top, disturb it as little as possible, and then rejoin the road there. That is the plan. But there's nothing worse than having roads going through the land, disturbing the fauna and flora, the plant life and everything. So once this new road here is settled and compacted and doing its thing and proven itself, we will till over the old one that you see in the foreground there, till it over part of it that we don't use, regenerate it, rehabilitate it with the natural plant life, and then let it grow back. And that way we can come up here and the wildlife has this whole bottom section to exist without our interruption there. Occasionally, once a month, every few weeks, the Cape lobster goats might move through here, but they're not grazers. They browse, they move, they'll go through here in an hour or so, and they won't be back here for a long time. just waiting for another update. Always nice to get updates on a phone that's years old. Anyway, part of what we do every time we add a new road or remove an old road or add any feature really on the farm is to record it on GPS. I use GPS logger on here, and then put that onto a Google Earth map that we maintain, and then that way we can keep track of distances between things and just know what's going on in the farm, and kind of have a private map that just shows our own stuff and where it is. So it makes it easier to plan for things like water management and slopes of the hills, and when we run pipes we can get the distances and the elevation profiles. And I'm going to drive them with the GPS logger, record them on GPS, and then import them into Google Earth, and I'll show you a bit what that looks like. But it's also a nice excuse to go drive the new road, even though we should actually let it settle for a while, give it a few rains and let the dust settle. But I do want to record this road. This road is not super important. It does not need to be smooth. It is intended to be used only for four-wheel drive purposes, for fence control, and for visitors with tents to have a quiet place to stay over at. So it might be, or it might seem a little bumpy. I'm going to go slow so I can record a nice accurate GPS track here. To the right is a very deep gorge. As you can see, those 25-35 meter gum trees there, we're almost at their tops, so it's a very deep drop into the gorge on the right, but there is a fence running here. How far we decided to go. In hindsight, should have gone a bit closer to the edge of that hill, but it's fine. We can make this a walkway up to the rest of the area where we have a planned campsite that way between the two hills. So this is where we are parked, and this is the furthest west we've gone with a vehicle, and we haven't been here on foot in over a year. And you can see all around me it is completely deserted and isolated. So towards that direction it's probably about 4 or 5 kilometers to the neighbors we know over there, and it's the nearest I'm to another neighbor over here. Behind this hill, probably from the hill about 800 meters that way, is the perimeter of that neighbor. Very good people on that side. Home, where we live currently, it's about 1 kilometer that way. And the fence, this is our northern border. It runs over there, and it slices over the hill, over that ridge section there. It slices over there. It runs in that direction for a couple hundred meters, 800, maybe 1,000 meters or so in that direction, kilometer, and then the western fence sits on that side, and then that's where the next neighbor is. Now this is the best formed, cutest quarry bush I've seen in a while. Perfect. This needs a chair under it.